Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you live tonight. Hopping on doing a little quick live stream. Actually, this is my second attempt at it. The first try didn't turn out that well, so we'll see how this goes. But in the meantime, let's see, I'm going to jump over here on Facebook and drop a little thing here, see if anybody wants to join in. Live on YouTube. See how this goes. Hopefully everybody out there is having a great night. What we're going to be doing tonight is looking through the Cryptid Manual, which is our current Kickstarter, and kind of going through that and taking a little inside peek at it. And then let's see. There we go, and I got one more place to share it. So right now you can probably just see the title page for the Cryptid Manual. We've shared out some images, but we haven't like scrolled through the book yet, so I thought we would do that. Let some other people who maybe haven't seen it, or maybe who are on the fence, get a chance to you know, see what it's all about. Let's see. There we go. Fetching my preview. Let's come look at the Cryptid Manual. And publish. Alright, then while that's doing that, let me pull up here. I'm going to make sure that it's going across, and that way I can get the chat up so I can see who's all looking at it, and you know, if anybody has any questions, answer those questions then. I do apologize about taking a second. Like I said, this is only my second attempt now at actually trying this, so we're going to see how this turns out. There we go. Let's see if we can figure out how to get the chat up. It does show we got one person watching, so hello for who's ever out there. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be starting here in just like 5 seconds. So if anybody wants to drop anything in the chat, I can now see the chat. So we are good to go. Okay. So for anybody who's just joining in, really I've just been kind of sharing out the link, telling some people, hey, if you got a moment, pop in over here. What I'm doing tonight is just going through, we're going to take a peek at the Dark Places and Demogorgons Cryptid Manual, which is currently on Kickstarter. And so as you can see here, we got, you know, the Cryptid Manual. I was the project manager on it. It was really my concept for how I wanted the book to come about and stuff. Josh Palmer, the co-creator of Dark Places and Demogorgons, and my right-hand man here at Bloat Games, he's a huge cryptid fan. He's really big into cryptozoology, and so I knew when I started thinking of a monster manual, I wanted to make a unique one. It wasn't just the same ones that you see with the same monsters and all of the stuff. So I knew that this would be a good place for Josh to start. And so I assembled a team of writers, which was Josh and Jody Brandt, aka Questwise for his fans here on YouTube. And we started putting together all the stuff. Josh and Jody did all the writing. all the layout and the art was handled by Brandish Gilhelm, aka Hankrin Infernal, or Hankrin Fernell, and aka Runehammer. So if you're a Runehammer fan, you like ICRPG, I know I do. He did all the layout and art, and there is a ton of art in this book. As we get into the dedications here, Cody really stuck with, like, like thinking Kevin Simbidi, Gary Gygax, and then some fantasy writers who he loved. Josh thanked a ton of cryptozoology people. I've heard of this guy here, James Bobo Fay, but these are all people who write either books or are on TV shows that are based on cryptids. So get past this. One thing that's really important to look at here is we added a new a stat for the stat block of the monsters, and that is morale. Excuse me. So we brought back kind of the old BX D&D type morale system. If you're fighting 3 of one monster and you kill the leader, the other 2 might run off. Morale only affects, this is a question we got a couple times, but morale only affects NPCs and monsters. Morale is not a stat that goes against player characters. Of course, player characters have to contend with terror, so you don't have to worry about morale, but morale is new for the monsters, and all the monsters in the Cryptid Manual are outfitted with the morale score. So this right here, the Ahu, I believe that's how it's pronounced. This was the very first page that Runehammer sent across to me to look at, and one of the things that I told him is, I said I really wanted to go with, I wanted the art to look black and almost like gritty, maybe kind of Sharpie like, and then wanted the what is it called? There to be gray in the background, but I wanted pops of red, and he nailed it. He sent across this page, and I was like, oh yeah, do variations of that all the way through, and we'll be good. Really liked the way that turned out. Next, obviously the biggest and most popular cryptid in the world is a Bigfoot. And Josh has got Bigfoots from all around the world. So this is like the Central Asia Bigfoot, and over in like Russia and stuff like that. Here's the Grassman Bigfoot. This is your standard Sasquatch. So this is like your Harry and the Hendersons type guy. Just your run-of-the-mill Bigfoot. The Skunk Ape Bigfoot. The Yeren. And then this is my favorite art of any of our Bigfoots, the Yeti. I think Runehammer just completely killed it here on this art. Looks wonderful. So, and then the Yowie Bigfoot. Then we get into something a little bit different. These are the black-eyed children, and they're a newer cryptid. They're not like one of the ancient ones from 50, 100, 200 years ago. They're definitely a more modern sense, but it was very cool to get them included in this. Up next, we got the bookworm, and the bookworm was really cool. For those who don't know, Questwise works in a bookstore, and then all of us, Brandish, myself, Josh, and Jody, we all have a love and affinity for books. So getting the bookworm in there was really, really fun for us. Also, loved the art for the bookworm. The little dragon here, made it out of paper. Loved it. We got a bunny yet. Now this next one is one that's from, this could be one of my favorite pieces of art from the book. We got Cerberus, who is the three-headed dog of mythology, ancient mythology. He's also a cryptid. He also made an appearance in but I love this art, and with the blood splattered over it, with the broken chains, the angry snarling faces, and this one determined. One thing that's cool about this page is that it shows here one of the variations on these pages. None of the pages line up are made to be exactly the same. So Brandish didn't use a preset format so that we could keep it different, keep it fresh. And so like if you look here, like this line is much lower than it appears on most of the pages, and that's because Cerebus has actually stomped the page number right off the bottom of the page. So there's actually no page number on this one. It's very cool. Up next we got the Chupacabra, another one of the all-time greats. One of the things I love about this is Josh Palmer. For those of you who don't know Josh, a lot of times he's a very quiet guy, and he's very low key, but he is hysterical, and he's very sarcastic, but he's hysterical. One of the things he did here is he dropped in a shout out to local goat farmer Robert Trujillo. And of course, if anybody knows anything about metal music, Robert Trujillo is famous for being the bass player of Suicidal Tendencies, the Ozzy Osbourne band, and of course for the last 15 years he's been the bass player of Metallica. So I love that he snuck in that little shout out and a quote to Robert Trujillo. We have the Crocoduck. This is of the images that have been shared, this has been one of the favorites here. He hid a lot. Again, Josh hid a lot of shout outs and references to different people in here, and Dillahunty Farms and stuff like that. So a lot of what we do here is with a wink and a smile, and we like it that way. We like to hide little things in the text, so as you're going through, keep an eyeball out and see how many things you can pick up on. This one right here, I love this otter piece. Just really cool. Runehammer also did another otter for us for Vigilante City, which was one of our favorites for that game as well. So these are the Dogmen of the North Woods. This is a legend out of like Michigan, out of northern Michigan, which is where Jody's home base is, and so he wanted to make sure to get that included. They're also one of the more popular cryptids out there on the market, so we made sure that we were able to squeeze that in, and Jody did the write-up on it and stuff. Now we got a couple different ETs. So like this is like the Flatwoods monster type of ET. Up next you got the Greys, which are the standard, what we think of ETs, the little green men, the Nordic aliens, and then this one right here, I love this one. It was actually a shout out to, or not a shout out, but a reference to the miniseries V, as in V for Victory, from the 80s that had Robert Englund, had the Beastmaster in it, all kinds of people. Really good miniseries if you ever get a chance to check it out. I can't say if it holds up, but I remember loving it, and a lot of times that's what's important. So up next we got fairies. Then here comes the gargoyle, and again, Runehammer's art and his layout just kills it. I love these dropout boxes that he did for the stats. Makes it be able to where you can go to a page, and if you're running this game, you can look right at what you need, and then a lot of stuff is separated out just so that it's very. He did a great job making it very ease of use. And we definitely appreciate that. Let's see. Up next we have the Groot Slang. That's not one I'm familiar with, but it's a snake with the head of an elephant. So we got a 2-page spread here for the gremlins. Gremlins are always fun and devilish little creatures to have to deal with. And then we have the Hellhound. Again, another very popular one. Hellhounds make their appearance in multiple horror movies and horror literature. So we had to make sure that those were included. The Ho Dog, which is like a dinosaur type creature. I like this quote here. It looked like some damn bastard offspring of a wolverine and a dinosaur, by Chuck Bourbon III, local hunter. Very. If you knew us, you would definitely get that reference. Most of you won't get that reference though. Then we got the Jersey Devil, which again, I mean, look at that art. Just using the basic simple concept that I put out. Runehammer was able to create this visceral, evocative, just stunning pieces of work, and I really love what he was able to do. So we got the Kelpies, lake monsters. So this will cover all your stuff: the Loch Ness monsters, the whatever you got. And so you got that type of stuff to look forward to. Let's see. All right, then we got the Lizard Men. I mean, you can never go wrong in a role-playing game by adding Lizard Men to the thing. And again, he's got these pieces parched out here. So again, a unique layout just for this page, and the offset line here. I really loved what he was able to do. Of course, we got the Loveland Frogman. He's a very popular cryptid. The Managishi. So again, art just completely killed it. Let's see. All right, we got a Medusa, which is the art for the Medusa is going to be over here on the second page. We got this evil large cat mixed with the gazelle. Again, another dinosaur type that's been claimed to have been roaming around the world. The Mongolian death worm. Here's one that got a ton of love in 2018 thanks to the Fallout game series, the Mothman. And Runehammer absolutely nailed it with this drawing of the Mothman. Josh and I actually went on a road trip to the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and took like the Mothman tour. We did the whole thing. It was a pretty fun day. We got this one. This is another one that I was not aware of, but the Nain Rogue. So it's like a gnome type character. Pretty cool. The Ocular Tree. And then the star of our book, the Poplic Monster. He's actually on the cover. The reason why I say the star of our book is the Poplic Monster. The Poplic Trestle is actually just minutes away from where Josh and I grew up. And I mean, now we still live within 20 minutes of the Poplic Trestles. So this is when we made J-Town. Technically, the Poplic Trestle is outside of J-Town, but when we made the fictitious version of J-Town, the optional setting for Dark Places and Demogorgons, we wanted to make sure that we included the Poplic Trestle and made him this kind of the star monster of our game books. And so we got a lot of really cool stuff. And again, if you knew us, a lot of this would make a lot more sense. But you can still get a chuckle out of what was written. We got the Psy-Rats, which are some nasty mutated biohazard looking rats that have mind powers. The Rolk, I believe is how it's pronounced. So just a lot of good stuff. Yeah, the sheep squash. So here's another more modern one. I believe Jody wrote this particular entry. The Shekels, and they're little kids who actually try to lure you in on Halloween. They come on Halloween and try to lure other kids into the woods. They're kids that have been murdered on previous Halloweens, and here's Jody gave me a little shout out over here with Bloat's Gas and Go. Uh, so I have a fictitious gas station down in J-Town in the setting. We got a Shuck, so Skinwalker, another very popular cryptid. But look, again, Runehammer just nailing it with, this book. So it makes it look like it's not like it was thrown together in a hurry, or like it's been damaged, or like it's so evil that the stuff's actually falling off the pages. We got the Spriggans, which I believe was another one that Jody did. The Thunderbird. The Trash Cat. I love this use of red down here, the blood splatter, and also I love this picture. Very, very cool. So Twiffles, ones I've never heard of before, but again, I'm not the expert. That is definitely Josh's forte. And so it looks like some kind of mushrooms. Let's see. Seeing who all the shout outs were to. And then this was one of my favorite pages that came in, the unicorn. But I'm not sure why, but this photo was scratched out at some point. I started cracking up when I saw that Brandish had sent out or sent that out with the unicorn being redacted. I thought that was the perfect one because everybody knows what a unicorn looks like, and definitely found that funny. So we got the Wandering Witch of Crenshaw. If you pick up any of Jody's things that he's wrote, any of his I can't even think what they're called right now. Like zines that he wrote for Survive This, conspiracy theories. He oftentimes will refer to Crenshaw as an optional setting, and he has information about there. And this Wandering Witch of Crenshaw kind of ties into all of that. And then Runehammer just absolutely killing it with this art, full page spread. The Wendigo, and this is actually my favorite art piece from the book. Just again, another great use of colors. A huge piece, so it turned out really good. And now we get to the back of the book, and now we start templates. And so these are things that we wanted to be able to include. Josh wrote up for if you wanted to make a different type of monster, or you wanted your monster not to be the standard fare, you could add different templates. And so there's like a dire template, a giant, rabbit, radioactive. There's the werebeast templates, so you can be different type of lycanthropes. A werebat, werebear, wererat, wereshark, werewolf. You got a vampiric template which has one of my favorite pieces of art coming up here that you'll see. That art just amazing. Love this piece. Zombie template, and you can mix and match these, and you can even take like regular animals. Right now, the next stretch goal to be unlocked on the Kickstarter, which is live and up on Kickstarter, is a sourcebook PDF of just normal animals that the teenagers in J-Town can run into. Because running into a bobcat or a pack of wolves can be just as dangerous to normal teenagers as as some of these more supernatural things. But then if you want to change it up, you can slap like a zombie template, so they run into zombie wolves, or radiated wolves, things like that. So we got some different enhancements here, some different charts that you can roll on. Back here, the morale is completely explained with its own table that you can roll on. So, and then we added for some of these creatures, we added new type of abilities, and they're outlined back here in the last couple pages of the booklet before it goes into the legal pages, which is just the the open gaming license. So that is a look at the Cryptid Manual. This went on a little bit longer than I'd like to have had to go on, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to get it all out there and let y'all know about it. And then so it will be up come probably I'll probably send it out tomorrow and an update for the backers. If you haven't backed or don't know anything about it, in the description below I did leave a link for the Kickstarter, so you can click on the Kickstarter. If you're not familiar with Bloat games, or even more if you're not familiar with Dark Places and Demigorgons, the Kickstarter is a great place to start, because you actually have the ability to get the core book as well as this, which is the Monster Manual, and then we even got a couple extra books in there. We got, I believe, 9 products total for this game line for us. It's definitely our most popular game line, and we're very, very proud of this project. So thank you all for those who tuned in tonight,